Let's talk about democracy. Democracy comes from the Greek and literally translated means the rule of the people. It is defined as a method of decision making within a state in which each citizen has an equal say. There are 5 main democratic principles, and how democratic a country is depends on how implemented and respected those principles are. Democracy is the most popular form of government worldwide. The political idea, however, has been deeply challenged in recent years. Although some countries saw radical events bringing them out of democracy, the vast majority of countries have been experiencing events questioning the quality of their democracy. This concept has a name. It is called democratic backsliding. Democratic backsliding is a gradual decline of the quality of democracy. It is not provoked by a specific event, but rather by small legal actions that added together decrease the overall quality of democracy. Both Hungary and Turkey have experienced democratic backsliding, but let's take a closer look at the example of Venezuela. The charismatic Hugo Chavez arrived to power in 1998. During his campaign, he promised to end corruption, vanquish poverty, and open the political system. Just over a year after he was elected, in 1999, a new constitution was voted. Among the changes were an extension of the presidential mandate, an expansion of the presidential powers, and a transition from 2 to 1 legislative house. Once settled in his position, Chavez started attacking the democratic institutions of the country, such as the press, by closing an opposition TV station, or the judges by assigning political allies to the Supreme Court. His successor, Nicolás Maduro, arrested members of the opposition party and repressed peaceful manifestation. Venezuela is now a dictatorship. But so what can we take away from the example? First, it was hard to identify the democratic backsliding because it was done by a series of discrete legal actions that each were legal on their own. Second, the government started attacking the concepts and the institution that make the country democratic. And last, most of the people realized the country wasn't democratic anymore when it was too late. In order to have a wider perspective on the topic of democratic backsliding, I asked 3 of my peers to come together as a focus group. One of the main takeaways of our conversation is how democracy means something different for different people. We also mentioned how democracy will be completely different in a few years and the political regime will know a massive improvement. Lastly, we touched the point that the changes to prevent democratic backsliding will need to be systematic changes. Solutions to prevent democratic backsliding seem to be diverse and complicated. However, as questions about the world's most established democracies are rising, how we prevent democratic backsliding could be key. And the answer might question the whole concept of democracy.